very respectful, because it certainly isn't easy for somebody to get up and talk in front of their classmates. So I'm very proud of him for doing that, and I'd like to introduce him.
I'm Jack Lebersfeld. I've been in school with you with most of you since 6th grade. I am, for the most part, just like you, but in some ways I'm different. I have Asperger syndrome, also known as autism spectrum disorder, or AS for short. AS is not a disease. You can't catch it, and it is not something that can be cured. It is a condition that I have, and will always have. It means my brain is a little different than yours. I see the world in a slightly different way than you do. This difference has given me some great strengths, but also some big challenges. There are many characteristics of AS, and I'm going to share some of mine. I'm doing this today so that I may become more understandable to you, and you can be more understandable to me. The most common difficulties for people with AS is with social situations, like having conversations or having a play date. I do not always act appropriately because I'm often unsure of the right way to behave. I want to learn to be more social. It's not very hard for me to have conversation about things that I'm not interested in. Wait, it is. It's very hard for me to have conversation about things that I'm not interested in. It's not that I don't care about you, but I'm much more comfortable talking about things that are meaningful to me. Please look at me if I'm not being appropriate. Also, it's sometimes uncomfortable for me to look someone in the eye. It doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to you if I'm not looking straight at you. I'm also very literal, and many times it's hard for me to understand things that may have more than one meaning. Like saying, "He died laughing." I may think you really meant someone died. It would be helpful to me if you can explain what you mean in another way if I seem not to understand you. Please do not tell me to do things I shouldn't, because I cannot always tell whether it's the right thing to do. I assume you are being honest and helpful if you tell me to lay on the floor. I do it because I think you're telling me something important and I don't know, and then I listen to you. I'm also very impulsive. It means I have to move around a lot and can blurt things out. I often do not have enough control to filter the things I say, or I can be very direct. I would never intend to hurt anyone's feelings. If I say something that seems hurtful, explain that to me. If I say something like, "I didn't imagine your house to be so small," all I mean is that I pictured your house to be a little bigger. I don't really care about the size of anyone's house. Sometimes I react to a situation more strongly than you may. Sometimes I get more upset than I should. I know I should be able to control myself more, but sometimes I just can't. I'm also forgetful. My mind moves very quickly, and sometimes I can't keep up with it. Sometimes I get lost in my own world, and a friendly touch on the shoulder can get me back. I'm very disorganized. Things like keeping my papers orderly or remembering to hand homework comes easily to you. But for me, it's hard. If you notice that I've forgotten something, please tell me. My brain is not wired like yours, so I don't process information like you do. Because of that, I know that sometimes I may seem different than you. Please know that I still have feelings. I'm telling you this because I want to be accepted and included, but it sometimes use help. I'm hoping you will not tease me or make fun of me for being different, but rather help me learn to be more social. I want very much to have friends, but I don't always know how to go about that. I have to work very hard to try to fit in. I want you to feel sorry for me. I'm not sad that I have Asperger's. We're all different from one another. I do have some really good challenges, but also some great strengths too. I have a really good memory, and I'm very creative. They say Bill Gates has it, and Albert Einstein had it. And Marshall Mathers, also known as Eminem, might have it. So I'm in good company. Hopefully one day I can do something that will also change the world. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope you can help us. be friends.
We can.
Jack, that was really interesting, and I know that I learned a lot from that. And I'm sure that if you guys listened carefully, you learned a lot from that. And Jack, I'd love to have permission to have a copy of this so that we could share that a little bit more if people wanted to review some of the things you said, if you don't mind. Would that work? So